Cracking Crafting. As promised, I have another beautiful technique for you today using the Dazzling Diamonds glitter, and this is one of my favorite techniques. This is where the glitter covers the whole of the artwork piece. So in the last video I had said I would show you another 2 techniques. I actually think it's 3 when I come to think of it, using the Dazzling Diamonds glitter, so you've plenty to look forward to. Today again we're using the Winter Woods stamp set. Absolutely love this stamp set to bits. You're going to just adore it. If you're lucky enough to already have it, well, you can work along with me then on this project. Now I have used the teeny tiny Sentiments stamp set here. It is retired, it's long retired actually, but that's simply because I don't have the up-to-date version. So I must get that actually, so I'm going to show you. And that I've used Merry Christmas. The up-to-date version is Itty Bitty Greetings, and it has a lovely little stamp called 'Tis the Season. Aren't they just fab? So I've got to get my hands on those. Problem is I want everything in the catalogue, and that's just not possible. But I will have to get my hands on those. So in the meantime, excuse me using this, but it's grand. And of course I've used the dies here from the Winter Woods stamp set. Let me remind myself what they're called. In the Woods Frameless dies. And for the artwork frame I've also used the rectangle stitch dies. These are fab. These just came out in our last annual catalogue, and they give a stitched cut on both the positive and the negative. So that is the inside of the die cut, and on the outside. So this isn't a perfect example, but that's basically what I cut that from. So it gives the stitched piece, whoops, on the inside, plus on the outside this bit here. So if you wanted to cut frames, there you go, that does just the job. It is fantastic. You're really going to love those. So let's get on with today's technique. Again, I'm using the Stamparatus because we're going to be overstamping numerous times in this one. I suppose you could use a standard block for it. It would be a slightly different technique. For me, it has got to be the Stamparatus because I want it perfect, absolutely perfect. So this can be a bit of a lengthy process, and I don't want to bore you, so I'm going to show you the basic technique and then I'll speed it up and you can see the rest of it for yourself in quick time. So I have my die cut artwork piece already in position on the Stamparatus. I haven't positioned it right into the corner because I want to get a good bit of, let me show you, pressure down here. If the stamp is positioned up in the corner, you're not getting as much pressure because the hinge doesn't allow you that. So with the grid, that's actually grid paper that you can purchase for the Stamparatus. It has a grid underneath it as well. So I have positioned it on the grid. I know exactly where I want it, and I'm able to take that off. Let me just check one thing. Yes, you have to make sure these are straight. Okay, now to get started. So I'm using Stampin' Right markers. They come with a brush end and a pen end, as I'm sure you already know. They come in various colour families. I've just chosen a selection today for autumn colours. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the lightest and work up to the darkest. We'll be overstamping many times. And once I've all the colours on, I can go back over it again and fill in any other wee bits or highlight any other bits that I think need it. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the lightest colour. And it's just marker to stamp technique directly. I'm going to put this all up around the tops of the trees because that's where they're going to be lightest indeed. Never use the tip of your marker, you will destroy them. Always use it from the side. So There we go. And another wee tip is, if you've been working at this and you fear that it might have got a bit dry, just lift it up to your mouth and huff onto it. Like that. I'm not going to show you my happy face. And that will reactivate any dried ink. So put it down into the Stamparatus platform. Give it a wee push down. Now this will be quite light. As I say, I'm building up colour. Actually, it's not as light as I thought it was going to be. And that's probably because I used the crushed curry. I used the darkest one by mistake. Not to worry. So I'm going to continue with these colours on through and just build them up into a colouring pattern that I like. And then I'll show you how to do the glitter effect on it. So I will speed it up for you right now. Okay, I think I'm happy with those colours now. As you can see, I put all the colours down in order, lighter to darkest, and then if I found any areas that I wanted to highlight a wee bit more, I just brought the other colours back in. So what I need to do now is stamp some shading under the trees, some ground under the trees, and then we'll go on to the glitter technique. Now I have the little stamp mounted up already, so I'm just going to choose, let's see, a couple of colours for it. I'm going to use the markers again, just stick with those. I'm choosing crushed curry and Cajun craze. So on one side I'm going to do crushed curry, and on the other just a wee smidgen Cajun craze, and I keep the darkest one up near the tree like that, and continue. Okay, I'm happy with that. So let's get on to the exciting bit, which is our glitter. Okay, now this technique will give you an effect similar to the dryer sheet technique, but less messy. The only time I would use the dryer sheet technique is if I wanted a crumpled effect. If you're using dryer sheet technique, that's hard to say, for a very smooth effect, I wouldn't waste my time. I would simply do this. So I have my stamped and die cut artwork. I have my Versamark. Now I've already re-inked that. That's nice and inky already. So you're going to put a nice, you don't rub it. I don't want to spread my ink. I just want to dab loads of Versamark onto the image, make sure it's well coated. Oops, give me a wee second. So that's nice and shiny. And take the heat and stick powder again, that would be used in the last video. Give it a good coating. Oops. You don't skimp at all, and it all goes back into the container anyway, so there's no waste. Now I'm going to put the heat tool in this, so I will turn the sound off, and I'm going to use tweezers to save my fingers. As soon as this the heat and stick powder is melted, I'm going to go immediately into the Dazzling Diamonds glitter and apply it, and then reapply the heat to it. And there we go. Wow, how much I love that. Isn't that just gorgeous? So it just remains to mount up the card, and that's job done. Okay, so now I've got my Whisper White card base. I've got Occasion Craze Matte that I have already die cut leaves from, and I've got my sticky dimensionals on it. I die cut the leaves from that just to save cardstock basically. I'm a bit stingy. So before I stick that down, what I'm going to do is put some Tombow on the back of this. I am definitely a glue girl. A lot of my classmates prefer tape, but I don't have a straight eye in my head, so that is a very strong glue, but it also allows me a little wriggle time to get my mats nice and straight. Here we go. See what I mean? I need to wriggle that about a little bit. That's it on now. Dimensionals, the back have been taken off the little dimensionals, so I'll just mount that onto the card front. Ooh, how lovely is that already? I'm taking a dauber and some Occasion Craze ink and just distressing the leaves a little bit. That's plenty. And a little bit of, let's see, Tombow. I love this glue so much. Onto the leaves. Position it about there. I have it hanging over the end a little bit, which is where I want it. I've got many dimensionals on the back of the sentiment that I will place here. Now, because it's sticking on top of glitter, it takes a bit longer than normal for the adhesive to take, so leave that to sit a little while. But that is basically job done. How gorgeous is that? I am going to make loads and loads of these. So make sure to come back soon and I'll show you another technique. Okay, so bye for now.